what's going on, everybody? James here, your ABX audiophile. I know it's been a while. Work's been crazy. Moving into the holidays, traveling a ton. I haven't done a review in a little bit. But today we're going to talk about a really cool speaker that Young over at ACOUSTICS. If you didn't see my review of their original little teeny guys, the Supermon Minis, go check that out. Very interesting approach on speaker design and musical reproduction. They use these really cool in-house designed AMT tweeters, and they do some really cool stuff with like isobaric chambers and running kind of dual drivers and stuff like that. So today we're going to talk about the ACOUSTICS Platymon's VC1, which is basically their bookshelf stand mount-ish speaker, speaker. $6,000 a pair. If you want the beautiful, awesome stands that you guys see right there, they come with the stands for an additional $2,000, and then depending on the height, you can get some different height variations there, you know, based on your listening position. They are kind of an interesting take, kind of almost like a coaxial design. If you watched our review of the ACOUSTICS stand mount speakers, kind of a similar approach, using dual drivers with the tweeter assembly in the middle, giving you kind of this coaxial technology, if you will, and sound to it. But enough babbling. Let's go take a look at these ACOUSTICS Platymon's for $6 grand and talk about how they sound, some of my impressions, what gear we had them with, and of course, what Kelly thought about them. Let's go look at these beautiful things. They are pretty amazing in build and design, so let's go check it out. Okay, general rundown of the Platymon's from ACOUSTICS. What a beautiful speaker, man. Those cabinets, no joke. Solid billet, freaking aluminum. I don't know what kind of aluminum they use. It's on their website. Some fancy smancy, no resonant. I mean, it's just crazy. Oh, you can get them in kind of different colors. So if you order them, you can kind of choose. They got some color options there. I know the minis they do in like a ton of different colors, but they've got a few options there. If you watch, you know who you should go check out? Check out Jay over at Jay Ziagi. He did a review on these speakers. I think he actually talked about them a couple times. They're actually his reference speaker. Super fantastic. Jun Seo, I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name. He's kind of the head engineer and designer behind these speakers. Super cool dude. We deal with Young, who's kind of the US rep. Super nice guy. We met him at Expona. Really cool dude. The AMT tweeter that they use is designed in-house. I don't know who they actually use or what manufacturing space they use to build their tweeter, but it says it's made in the USA, designed by them. They use a German manufacturer for their drivers. Basically, this thing is like 45 hertz to 28 hertz overall, so it does dig down there a lot. Some of you guys might want to supplement these with like a subwoofer or something. In this small room here, they were way too much for this small room, but they were just almost not enough in my large room downstairs. So depending on your space, you may need a little sub here. 91 dB sensitive. I think the tweeter, because of the coaxial design and the way they got it going, I believe the tweeter goes down to 3100 hertz all the way up to 28K, I believe. The 5-inch drivers, I think they start at 3100 hertz and go down to about 45 hertz. So that's where they kind of cross over there. If you look at the back of them, I'll throw pictures of this stuff up as I'm talking about it, but they've got tuned ports. So what do those ports do? The ports are tuned, so there's a left and a right speaker, and the way they're tuned helps with that kind of dispersion, and the way the sound propagates the room leads to a really nice wide sound stage, really good depth to it, and just awesome performance in that space. I mean, I probably haven't had a stand mount speaker that threw a stage like that in-house yet. So the tuned ports, don't forget about that. 32 pounds each. They are pretty heavy. Ugh, they're beefy. They're beefy girls. If you look at the stands, they actually sit on these 3 marbles. I'll throw some pictures and videos of that up there. Inside, oh, these crossovers, the crossover stuff and the wiring that they use, it's all Sanctus cable. Like, it's high-end freaking cable that they use inside these things. So, you know, get some nice speaker wire to these things, put a nice front end onto these things, and they are absolutely fantastic. Oh, another thing before I forget, you can get the VC2. I think they're the VC2. Yeah, VC2 modules for them. So if you picture this guy, but actually being like a tower speaker. So they have these bass modules with the super tweeters in them. You can set them underneath. Of course, I'm showing pictures and stuff of this. And they integrate together, and you can make them like a 3-way or a 4-way. You can adjust how much of that super tweeter you want kind of in there. It's really, really cool design. We don't have those in for review, so I'm not going to get deep about that, but you can go to their website and check it out. Super, super cool. Just really cool ingenuity, man. These guys are just thinking outside the box, and you know, that's kind of an overall structure of the drivers. You can go look at the specifics on their website. They list out all the different, you know, specs and stuff, but that's the generalities to these speakers. Let's talk about how they sound. Oh, one more thing. I just wanted to cover just the specifics to make sure I didn't miss anything. So what they're saying on their website, 2-way virtual coax, which we talked about that. The aluminum that we talked about is a 6061 grade, super thick. I mean, that front cabinet's like inch and a half thick or something. I mean, it's just insane. You knock on those things, they're about as inert. Like, just think of them as being built out of no res. Insane. Monocoustic designed AMT tweeter made in the USA. 5.5-inch drivers. They're claiming 40 hertz, 28 hertz. I would 100% agree there. If not, that might be a little bit conservative. I think they dig a little bit deeper, but I'm not your measurements guy. Go talk to Amir or somebody else there on that kind of thing, but they're claiming 40 hertz to 2800. So like I said, in a smaller room, you are not going to need a subwoofer. In this room, you definitely do not need a subwoofer. In my large room, I don't even use a subwoofer, but you might want one. They're claiming 4 ohm 91 dB sensitive, so they are a more sensitive speaker, so you're not going to be amp bound. We'll talk about some of the gear we ran with these and why I know this. Again, 32 pounds, $6,000 for the pair. There you go. Let's get into it. All right. Talking about how these guys sound in general, nutshell. I don't get too deep, man, but the bass, very, very articulate, defined. Mid-ranges are real. The timbre is perfect. I mean, everything is like as it should be. That AMT tweeter that they have, that ribbon tweeter that they have in the middle of that thing, absolutely resolving, smooth, detailed, no fatigue to be spoke of here. Absolutely fantastic speaker. Nice musicality to it. Really good refinement. Vocals are just, I mean, anytime you get kind of this coaxial design, this richness and musicality and life kind of comes to it. The one thing that I really notice about these speakers is there's a real noticeable kind of phenomenon when you're listening to, like, say a drum. You're doing like a drum solo or something, and you're playing that thing. The quickness and speed of the attack and like sustain and decay of things in the soundstage is absolutely pinpoint accuracy. I mean, that is one of the coolest things I think about this speaker. It almost reminded me when I went from like a Class A/B amplifier to like a really good Class D GaNFET amp with like a high dampening factor, something like from Orchard Audio or something like that. You know, their Star Crimson, you know, flagship. There's just this immediacy and dynamicness to the transients and everything and all the swings. The speaker is really quick, and man, it'll just kind of like, whoa, that's pretty damn cool. So super fast speaker, super quick speaker, nice dynamic capability, transients and everything, man, super quick and nice. Like I said, down to 40 hertz. The bass is really good, textured, detailed, defined. It's not sloppy, it's not loose. And you know the other thing? I almost want to call this speaker a neutral speaker, but I'm not going to call it a neutral speaker. I think there is a little bit of musicality in this thing, intentionally so, but it's going to let 99.9% of your front end shine through. I would say it is a neutral speaker, maybe just with a hint of musicality and kind of sweetness to it all. And I think that kind of comes from however they're structuring that tweeter that they got in there. But man, I tell you, that's how they sound. I was not disappointed. We sent them over to Kelly. Kelly really liked them. He would reiterate everything that I'm saying right now. Not only do they throw a massive sound stage that has good layering and distance in between, but they're not fatiguing, very resolving, very detailed. They have nice nuance to them, and they let that gear just shine through. You're not going to get a bunch of coloration here. Yeah, man, it was nice to be able to kind of hear the front end. So really cool speaker. I would definitely check them out if you're looking at something in that range. And we actually heard the VC1 and the VC2 at Exponent together in its full tower speaker configuration. That was pretty damn impressive. So anyway, thank you for Mon Acoustics and Young and them guys for sending this over for us to review. We've had these things forever. I've lived with these speakers for months now. Kelly had them for weeks on end. We had them over at Kevin's for a long time. So this isn't something that I just got for a week and sat down and listened to it a little bit and shot out a review. I'm telling you guys the actual truth, what my full experience was, really immersing myself, which this is how we do all of our reviews. We don't bring this stuff in for 3-4 days and knock these things out like you know, Skittles or whatever. But anyway, I'm James, your ABX audiophile. Jump in our Discord. We talk about this stuff all the time. Get over to our Patreon. Help us support the charities that we're doing. Over $10,000 raised and donated this year. We're getting ready to kick off 2024 and just knock it out of the park and jump into 2025 just screaming and kicking and doing some good work. So if you're not a part of our Discord, get in there. If you're not supporting us on Patreon, get in there. If you're not a part of our raffles, you know, we've raised tens of thousands of dollars on, not tens of thousands of dollars, $10,000, thousands of dollars. Raffling gear off directly to our Discord and Facebook community. So make sure you're a part of that. Again, I'm James, your ABX audiophile. Thank you guys. Have a fantastic day. We'll see you on the next one. All right, let's go. Done with this.